That's when God will rain down. Right there.
It happens.
January 26th.
And what happened?
Huh?
Where am I?
We're in the woods still. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that whole thing that we did like a couple times
It's been
ago?
a while, yeah, but yeah. I do remember. In the woods.
Yeah, well, after, Meta's stock price dropped, we kind of ran out of money to mention it, so.
It's okay. We're good hunters, right?
Yeah.
Don't you remember episode 1, cross hunting?
Yes, yeah, exactly. Where I shot nothing. Yeah,
that
was, yeah.
Hey, the first time is not the charm, okay?
I mean, I've been there several times. I've grouse hunted.
Though our odds aren't looking good, I still have faith.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So anyways, how you been?
Well, first you have to introduce. This is another episode.
Of
Roving Slant.
Yeah.
The podcast you all come here to see. Two people losing and degenerating all mental faculty out the window.
Yeah. My brain... Yeah, I think that's the point, right? Yeah. You ever listen to the album Maggot Brain?
I have not, no.
It is a funk... I don't know if it's 70s or 80s, but it's a funk album.
Okay.
And by listening to it, a lot of people say this, and I also felt this way. You feel emotionally drained. Like, there's something about the way that the music's put together that is, like, just actually a little bit draining.
You know, that's interesting, because when I was reading all about the different types of orgasms women can have, one of them was talking about the skingasm, which is something that everyone has, and it's like certain, like, harmonies with music will make you get a skingasm. And it happens, they use it typically in those, like, terrible cape shit Marvel movies where, like, they want you to feel emotion, so they'll have that giant orchestral background, and then you get that weird feeling in your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. It's like a cheap play on emotions to force you to pay attention in the way they want you to emotionally feel at this particular moment in time.
Wow, I know how to feel now.
Yeah.
Thanks, music.
So.
But yeah, no, I mean, I feel as though, if we... Do you think this podcast is draining for people to listen to? Because, I mean, for us, we're probably not affected because we're the people making the voices.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's more like... It's a platform to just say whatever's in my brain.
Yeah.
So if what is in my brain imprisoned at this current moment is draining to people, then imagine living as me. I don't know. I don't think so. I was listening back to the other episodes that had the chapters recently, and they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think I have some really terrible jokes in there, but overall, it's been a good mix of us having conversations and stories and stuff.
Yeah, I think I like how almost every episode, I like how the first, like, 2 were connected, right? And then the third one disconnected it. Yeah. And then it was a little bit reconnected on 4, and then from there it's just been...
Well, wherever. Even the baby has to be separated from the mother eventually, so that's true. We can't just keep feeding the little airplane spoon to these people.
So yeah, episode 6, the baby's out of the house.
Umbilical cord is cut. Y'all are on your way down, bro.
We left it on for the extra few years.
Yeah.
God, do you think that's what they did? Like, whenever they're cave people? Do you think they just didn't know what to do with the umbilical cord? So like, well, I don't know, man. Maybe we would leave it connected for a while.
Dude, I bet they cooked it up and ate it.
Well, I mean, don't people do that now? They grind it up to like a powder and eat it again?
I have no idea.
I thought that was like a thing where they're like, oh, I want all those prenatal vitamins.
I'll tell you what, I haven't read about that in any book I've read yet, so I'm unaware. But maybe you can gain all your energy by eating the literal tube that sends you vitamins from your mother.
I mean, I believe it. I think it has, some kind of weird vitamin. I don't know. I'm not going to do it. I don't think my wife's going to do it. But
no. Do you still have yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
No. Do you?
As far as I know, no.
Oh, do you know who does, though?
Who?
I think my fiance's mom holds on to, like, all of her kids in a book.
So you mean you could go get some umbilical cord jerky tomorrow?
That's right.
We can put some barbecue sauce on that bad boy. salted and cured. Hey, whatever.
Yeah. Do you want? I mean, maybe we could just.
Maybe if we snort our previous baby teeth, we'll gain back our youth.
You ever play Dark Souls?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so you know in Dark Souls how you can bring your like ember back or whatever?
Yeah.
I imagine that's us with our baby teeth. We just hold them in our hand, like crush it,
Yeah.
and then we're like ignited with like baby energy.
It's kind of like your ancestral experience is in your previous body parts that have just been dismembered from you.
They just came off, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, so I guess where do we start here? Like we've done this a few times now.
Yeah.
Usually you have like this big thing where you're like, yeah, I talked to God yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I have a story about like what I did like in the last 4 days.
Okay, well, I was going to go down the route of like what happened to
Carmen Sandiego?
Yeah, but I actually do have a list for this.
Really?
Yeah, I made a list. I never prepare. I sort of just let God tell me what to talk about. But this time I actually have a list. So I guess the first thing I want to mention, since I've noticed a trend in our podcast where I'll talk about in some way how to improve yourself in the beginning.
Yeah.
Granted, the Ouroboros self-cessed episode didn't really, I mean, that's not going to help you.
That improved my life.
In episode 3. But the thing I'm testing out, I always test things, okay?
Yeah.
So I read an article that was talking about how if you wear high disproportionate amounts of polyester clothing.
Really?
Yeah, it leaches it leaches into your body and disrupts your male endocrine system.
Everything does.
Yeah, so instead of wearing polyester underwear, I was like, okay, what are the odds? Because I've been wearing 100% polyester underwear.
Really?
For a really long time now. And I always feel like more and more progressively crazy. So I was wondering, can I gain back? Can I min-max the testosterone I've been losing from polyester underwear by having less plastic, microplastic in my body? So even if they're wrong, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it only costs like $10-15 for a 10-pack of underwear.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck it. I'm going to get 100% cotton, and we're going to go 100% cotton.
There you go.
And just see what happens.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? I couldn't tell you if there was any change. I mean, it might be a placebo thing where I'm like, you know what? My balls aren't as sore as they used to be, I guess.
Really?
I've noticed that there was, with the polyester, they were...
Chafing?
Not chafing. They're just like sore. And the study that the article mentioned was that they did a study, I forget, it was some animal. They tested like 35 of them. And what they did for the males is they put a polyester sling around their testicles. And the male animals, I think they were monkeys or something, I don't remember. The male animals who had the sling around their testicles couldn't procreate.
Uh-huh.
Their sperm was terrible. So maybe if you just want to never have kids, all you have to do is wear polyester underwear. That's the best male birth control out there, according to science.
Don't worry about it, baby. I wrapped my balls in plastic this
morning. Don't worry. I got a grocery bag right on these bad boys.
You got some cellophane.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the feeling of a 100% working endocrine system is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
But, I've enjoyed the warmth of the cotton underwear.
Yeah.
It is, my balls aren't as sore as they used to be, maybe from not absorbing all that plastic and killing my future offspring. All my spermatozoa are crippled and dead. So yeah, maybe just if you want to add another thing to the list on how to not get her pregnant, wear 100% polyester underwear.
Damn, there it is. I don't even know what my underwear is. I've never even thought to look.
Yeah, I was never preoccupied with it, but I was reading these how to be a Chad articles and get your testosterone. It was like strength building for men. And I was like, okay, what are the things that they say to use to build testosterone?
Yeah.
They said don't eat food that has a lot of estrogen in it, phytoestrogens or otherwise. One of the highest estrogen foods is flax seeds, which is something I have eaten in the past. I have a huge, like, 5-pound tub of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about that part. We continue.
Yeah, but I had a, like, 5-pound tub that I was eating for a while because they are an alternate source of omega-3, which is something you only get from fish usually, or your vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
But now I guess I haven't eaten them in a while, but I guess I felt better. So maybe I shouldn't be eating those to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Well, so I guess we can. Are you good with?
Yeah, I'm.
We can segue.
Okay.
I'm gonna segue right into. Have you ever had oats? I know you've had oats.
Yeah, oats.
You like oats,
of course.
Have you ever had oat milk?
I have had oat milk. I've had oat milk ice cream as well.
No, that sounds pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where I thought I was lactose intolerant because I kept getting acne, but then I realized it was just shitty food I was eating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you stop fucking gargling grease, then you stop getting acne.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
It's weird, yeah. It's weird how that happens.
Holy shit.
So basically, I've been doing... I wanted to start doing, like, meal prep.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, I want to, like, actually try to lose weight. I keep saying this. I think I've said this since the beginning. But anyways.
Hey, actually, small aside, really quick. When I took like health and well-being or something in college, community college, one of the interesting things in our health and fitness book was that it takes, on average, 6 months for a person to make a decision in terms of how it relates to their health.
Really?
Yeah. So even you haven't been saying it for 6 months yet. So when we get to the 6 month mark,
we'll see.
Then we'll see if that's true.
Damn. But yeah. So I've been doing a little bit of meal prep, right? And one of my biggest things was like, while I'm driving into work, like I don't want to do anything at home. I just want to leave, and I'll just get a breakfast sandwich on the way from like a fast food place, right? So I wanted to start skipping that and just like doing it at home. So what I did is I started doing overnight oats. Okay. All you do is you just pour like, it's a cup of oats, a cup of oat milk, or you can use any kind of milk really, but I like the oat milk version. And then I do flaxseed, which I just got like a bunch of. Now that you tell me this, I'm like, well.
Yeah, I was really surprised, but if the article is to be believed, it's like several thousand times higher percentage of like, I'll show you it after. I was looking at the list of foods and they're like, yeah, all you really got to do is avoid the top 10. And number 1 is flax seeds. And it is like the hugest margin, like the biggest discrepancy. I forget what the next one was, but I was like, holy shit, dude. You want to be a Chad, you can't eat any estrogens.
Jesus. I thought you were going to tell me, like, soy. And I was like, yeah, well, isn't that, like, a proven thing?
The Soylent. I as well, another interesting thing, I think it was on the same website, which I'm going to have to leave in the description for people that want to be Chads now. But they were saying that in terms of your jaw muscle diminishing, if you just keep eating liquid food like a soy boy, then your jaw will progressively get like thinner and thinner. So if you want a Chad jaw, you got to start eating real food that you have to chew.
You just gotta like what you gotta do. This is if you want a Chad jaw, you gotta fry up a steak and eat it with your hands.
Yeah, of course.
Just like ripping pieces off.
Honestly, burn the steak.
Make it harder.
make it hard to chew, bro.
But anyway, overnight oats,
Yeah.
peanut butter, honey, yogurt, blueberries and bananas, and then you throw it in the fridge. Right?
Sounds like a lot of sugar, dude.
A little bit, yeah. I do Greek yogurt.
Okay.
The peanut butter, I use the natural peanut butter, which has less sugar.
Okay.
But yeah, the fruit obviously is, fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think the fruit's probably fine.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a good dessert for the morning.
Yes. I am a big believer in eating cookies for breakfast, actually.
You know, that's funny you say that because one of the like how to lose weight in 7 days using the Oriental method book that I got from Salvation Army. Yeah, one of the things that they said, which I thought was really interesting, is if you don't feel like eating in the morning, it's because you need a little bit of sugar. Like they recommend like a little bit of orange juice or something because that is what prepares your body to be able to want more food. Which is funny because in salt, sugar, fat, it says that the more sugar you have, the more you overeat. So I guess in a way, you know, there's you could actually use it as a tool if you were like, oh man, I don't want to eat in the morning. Just get your tablespoon of sugar on your tongue.
I mean, you could just do honey.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, honey as well.
Yeah, but damn. So yeah, I've been doing overnight oats.
Has that been working for you so far?
Yeah, actually, it's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, I put like delicious fruit, got some oats, some oat milk. It's like I'm actually surprised because I didn't think I would like it.
Yeah.
As I was like making, I'm like, oh, this is kind of, I don't know about this. And then, I don't know, I drank it.
Mm-hmm. You should also try like a more savory oats too. I didn't think I would like savory oats, but you can do oats with like onions and cheese.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so, like, the biggest thing for me is that I don't have any, well, I already wake up at, like, 6.
Okay.
I'm like, I just want to grab something and leave, which is why I do the overnight, right?
I see, okay.
So, yeah, no, I mean, I could just sit there and, like, fry up some onions for breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking, like, you can make a big bowl of it and then just heat it up when you go, but I'm sure it wouldn't be as good. I mean, yeah.
The overnight oats thing, it tastes good cold, so it's like,
Speaking of a diet, this is not a sponsorship because I was impressed with the flavor, but disappointed with the nutrition profile of, of the 2 HelloFresh meals that you gave me.
Uh-huh.
So one of them was the bolognese, which is literally just like spaghetti and beef, which the only problem I had with that one was that the size of the calories was off. Like it claimed it was like 1,100 calories, but it was actually 1,600 because they must have did the math wrong or you substituted something. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
And then the other part I had that was disappointing about that recipe was they give you a zucchini and then they're like, okay, so you need to peel the zucchini, but once you hit seeds, which is a majority of the zucchini, they're like, just throw that away. Yeah. I'm like, are you? What?
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck?
I've had that as well.
Yeah, so I cut it up and threw it in there.
Why not? Yeah,
it tasted really good, but obviously the balance was like literally just all carbs from the thing.
Yeah,
spaghetti noodles. But it tasted really good. I was impressed flavor-wise, but if I was trying to lose weight, I would not get that at all.
Yeah.
There was like virtually no vegetable if you followed the recipe.
Yes.
And I also threw an extra garlic as well, because I was like, dude, they only give you 1 clove. Disappointing.
That is very disappointing.
Yeah, I was like, you know how cheap garlic is? Just fucking throw in like 5 cloves, bro.
They will consistently give you a giant onion, and then they'll be like, okay, now take out the green beans, and they'll be like really small, kind of sucky green beans.
Onions are really cheap, so I get that. But it's like, if you're going to name your company Hello Fresh, I expect more than one. I mean, I guess in this case it was 2 fresh things because it was the zucchini and the single garlic clove.
Did you have the other one as well?
Yes, yeah, I did. And I was that was very good. But the problem is it was just like I think it was like 1,000-calorie meal and 700 of it was just cheese. I was like, what the fuck? It was a tiki masala. Which is basically, they give you like a curry sauce that's like curry powder mixed with milk and some other bullshit. Mm-hmm. And they give you some little packets of yogurt that you add into the curry sauce. And then you just take cheese and like a single tomato. Yep. And throw it all together. And then you're supposed to put it on rice. Yep. So like a majority of the calories comes from the jasmine rice, which was okay. But that was only like, I didn't end up using that. I used the brown rice because it has more nutrients and I like it better.
Yeah.
But I think that was only like, it was like a half cup of rice or less. So it was like 300 something calories, maybe less. And then it was literally 700 calories of cheese. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is all just fat, bro. I'm going to just get fat by eating this.
So that's kind of funny that I didn't even realize this, but yeah, usually they're a little bit better than that.
Mm.
But yeah, no, that's funny.
Yeah, if you discard any more, I'm willing to try it to give them a redemption round, but I would never. I mean, when I was like pricing out the stuff, I think it's a lot cheaper just to make your own food. So
that's true. Yeah,
yeah.
well, it is.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that me and my fiance like about it is that we cook like the same like 4 things over and over again. And so, like, the variety is just, like, nice.
It is cool to learn the recipes as well.
Yeah.
Like, now I know, like, I was like, okay, after trying the tiki masala, I'm going to implement curry.
Yeah.
And the curry sauce is really easy to make, and you can make it probably healthier than they did. With just curry powder, you don't even need milk. I mean, not that milk is bad, but milk and a little bit of yogurt probably wouldn't be. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know it was in that giant ambiguously sized curry bag. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It doesn't give me calorie information. I got nothing.
This is what you get.
Yeah, just generic plastic bag. And you're getting the microplastics from that. So my fucking semen is dying.
Yeah, I mean, you're planning on having kids pretty soon.
Yeah, bro. Speaking of which, I was Speaking of which, I've been living the ascetic, celibate life, but I've been thinking of ways to sublimate my horny energy and to be productive to society. Okay, and so I was considering another side gig, an instant way to make money for the Chad is sperm donation.
Oh,
okay, and I'm thinking about it. Right? Okay, let's assume. Here, and I don't get your panties in a bunch. Who knows? We're gonna see where this goes. But assuming, okay, there's a little bit of evidence that just came out recently that the vaccine does change your DNA. Okay, and it changes your DNA in a specific part in the liver and your gonads. Okay, and according to what I read, it says that if 2 vaccinated parents have sex and have a girl, okay. That girl offspring will have a recessive ovarian failure gene. Okay? Oh, jeez. But it's only, according to the article I read, if a man and a woman who are vaccinated have sex. Oh. So, does that mean that unvaccinated people will have to pair up with everyone in order to have children to save the human race?
Let me just finish that.
So not only is there a demand for lesbians that need cum to have children, okay, but now every woman who is vaccinated needs an unvaccinated man to have a girl that can actually procreate beyond that generation. Jesus.
So, I mean, we're this close to gene therapy. I mean,
we're there, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm just waiting until sperm takes off like Bitcoin.
You got your vials in there in the freezer.
All the pure bloods, bro. Yeah.
You're on the forums every day being like, just HODL bros.
Bro, I'm just going to start a Facebook page that's just a sperm donor USA.
Everybody just HODL your sperm.
Yeah, you fly out there, I'll bring the turkey baster, baby.
Dude, there was a documentary on a guy that would like just have sex with like lesbians or whatever to like impregnate them.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's just my job.
It sounds like, yeah, I mean, assuming that everybody gets their STD test and everything, I don't see a reason, I mean, they need to have kids and...
Why not?
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, would you like to... All right.
Yeah, you want to take this opportunity to try
we should do
it?
this, beforehand. So, we have some citron soju here.
Yeah, he's decided he wants to get us a little tipsy, so...
Yeah, and I don't know if the podcast... Can you hold this?
Yeah.
The podcast would ever be able to tell, but like, I'm a lightweight. Would you say you're lightweight?
I would, yeah. Usually, I would say that.
Yeah. So
I'll let you pour. I'll hold.
Okay. Well, so basically, I read online how you're supposed to drink this.
Okay. Because
it's like, Asian culture. You're not supposed to ever pour your own soju.
Okay.
And you're also not supposed to. You have to drink it all in one go. as well. You
Okay,
can't
so it's like
sip
a
it.
shot.
Yeah, but I guess you're supposed to sip it. Only the first one. You're not supposed to like baby it. Here, let me. Would you like to read the rules before we do this? All right.
Maybe.
Yeah, this might help us. Maybe there's like some kind of secret, and they're like, "Oh, you'll die if you don't do this." All right, you
It
cannot.
kind of smells like soap.
It smells like Sprite.
Sprite and soap.
Yeah. You cannot serve yourself soju. That's the first thing.
We already failed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, we probably should have did this, but who cares? All right. Somebody more senior than you must serve you, so you should have served.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
Gotcha.
You must hold your glass with both hands while you're being served. So we failed.
Yeah. What?
And then the fourth rule is the only one that we can pass at this point, which is you must down your first shot in one.
Huh.
So
Okay. I mean, yeah.
I guess we'll just cheers.
Cheers.
That's pretty good.
That honestly just tastes like pop,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably a
Dangerous.
big problem.
Yeah. Yeah, let's drink some more.
Yeah,
Damn,
I guess,
that's good.
that was actually just like orange pop.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit more lemony. But yes, you can... The aftertaste is a little bit soapy, though.
It is.
Makes you want to drink more.
Yeah, I guess give it a minute. I don't mind do another one after if we're not hacking on blood. Try the next one.
But yeah, I got 3 flavors of that at home. I was like, I'll just grab... Because there's original citron and strawberry that I have. So, I just figured citron sounded good.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like us having less mental faculty is going to make the podcast any worse than it is.
No, that's true. I don't know if we ever mentioned it. What episode did we drink the whiskey beforehand?
Oh, man, I don't remember because we just did it, and then the only thing you hear in the audio is just us drinking, and then it's starting. Yeah. I don't even know if we acknowledge it.
I think I think we say like, oh yeah, that's good, and then like continue.
Start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, I was gone right at the beginning.
Yeah.
That whiskey hit hard.
We'll see if this is the same effect. I mean, this is obviously probably not as high as percent.
No, it says like 12 or something.
Yeah, 12, yeah. So,
okay.
It'll probably just be like a little wine. Maybe you're supposed to drink the whole bottle. I have no idea.
Man, could you imagine drinking that whole thing in one go?
I think you're supposed to... Well, yeah, that doesn't make sense now, does it?
Wow.
Yeah. And every time you open up the bottle, you gotta drink it in one go.
I still taste it, but it's good.
It is. All right.
I did want to mention something.
Yes.
I did something kind of weird because I have a friend that I haven't talked to in like months because I usually see him when we go camping.
Yeah.
And he sent me a message that was like so ambiguous that I had to follow.
Yeah.
So I'll just read directly what the message was, and I didn't respond to it. I just followed the orders because I wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah.
So he said, "Tonight at 7:30 p.m., I'm going to be watching the original Red Dawn at my place. The back door will be unlocked. If you want to come over and watch it with me, I'm not going to stop you." And I read it. This was at like 9 in the morning. I did a...
We'll be watching Red Dawn.
I was like, I saw this message and I'm like, man, I haven't been to his house since I helped move him in years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, we usually don't hang out other than like camping because, everybody's been busy and everything. Mm-hmm. And this message was so bizarre. Like when I read it, I was like, tonight when the sun goes down, I'm going to be watching the original banned Red Dawn or something. Like, I'm like, what is this movie? Like, it just sounds, he's like, I'm not going to stop you. Like, what does that mean? What you're just going to leave? Why not the front door? Why does it have to be the back door? This doesn't make any fucking sense.
My butthole will be agape.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to be on all fours. Movie's going to be playing as loud as possible. Wife's going to be upstairs, chloroformed. Do whatever you want. I'll have the blindfold on. Like, what? What's going on, dude?
Won't stop you.
It was so bizarre. I was like, I got there and literally I showed up. It felt so awkward, but I just walked right behind his house, opened up the back door, walked in, and then 2 seconds later he comes out and he's like, "Oh, you showed up. how you doing? I'm like,
good.
It's like, dude, I could have just walked into some random person's house. I didn't remember the full address. I had it, but and then his house was like different looking because they repainted it, I guess.
Oh.
So I picked I just completely walked up. I was like, I hope this is his house because otherwise it's going to be real fucking awkward.
Jesus.
So yeah, we watched Red Dawn. I'm not going to talk about it because, I mean, honestly, there's nothing to talk about.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was just... I mean, the only black character dies within the first 5 minutes. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, does that happen? Like,
that's a trope, yeah apparently. But yeah, so I had to mention that. And I guess in the vein of TV, I also want to mention I had an epiphany after watching unhealthy amounts of My 600-Pound Life.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was really strange, but it actually, you know, usually when you watch anything from TLC, your brain just, you can feel it dying.
Yeah.
Like, literally any show. Essentially, TLC has like a marketing team that they just sat down and were like, man, how do we make a zoo out of all America's problems and parade these poor, physically, like, incapable and mentally deficient people on TV and make money doing it?
Yeah.
And then they just put a camera in front of all these poor people's... I mean, I guess maybe they get a little bit of money on it, but...
I think they do.
Is it worth it? Is it really? Is that dehumiliation worth it?
If they're getting paid for, like, all their doctor bills, like, I think that's probably the deal, right? So
Honestly.
they're like, we'll pay for you to do all this.
Yeah.
You know, but... Dude, do you ever watch the Hoarders?
Yeah.
What? Oh.
And, you know, I like Hoarders because it actually feels like they tend to help those people because, you know, they just got a habit that they're trying to use getting materialistic stuff. I mean, essentially, it's just the manifestation of avarice and greed, the sin.
Uh-huh.
It's just the same, and essentially, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, TLC just literally showcases the radical end of sin. My 600-Pound Life is just gluttony.
Yeah.
The sin. Okay, I'm going to have to look into that more. But...
You look it up, like,
yeah.
the deacon of, like, you know, the high church or something that you find
Yeah.
is, like, the owner of TLC, and he's been, like, trying to teach people.
Yeah, this is what happens when you eat too much. Too many Big Macs, too many calories. But, I was watching it, and it isn't until you watch multiple episodes in one go that you begin, your pattern recognition sets in, and you stop watching the show, and you actually start thinking, okay? Mm-hmm. Because I was, like, turning off my attention and thinking about it. And the pattern I recognize is that the same thing, on average, happens every time. They start off the episode and explain that the person is eating because of, like, I don't know, one of three things. Their parents got divorced, they got molested as a child, or they have some other physical, mental, drug abuse, something usually resulting to a parent or family. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
It's always like that. And then they use food to cope. By making themselves... either it's like food is really good, and it's the only thing that's good because it can't hurt them, or it makes them so unwantable that they don't have to worry about any kind of, like, molester coming for round two. So, like, every time they always say the cause, and then after they say the cause, they eventually, like, try to haul these fucking people all the way to Texas to get weighed on a scale, which is just, it's literally just, I mean, why? You can find a scale somewhere else. They don't have to do it. They could just fucking webcam the people in another doctor's office, but they force them to do this X amount of hour drive where they fucking suffer as they're hauling themselves. I mean, some of these people drive across states in order to get to his office. And then when they get there, he just, like, sits there and he's like, "You're fat. I mean, we recognize that. The scale, the scale is fucking, it's yeah." Like, you came here because you're fat, and I'm telling you you're fat. You know you're fat, and...
We had to put a wide load sticker on you.
Yeah, we had to put the little lights, they're blinking. That is like, they had to go as slow as the people carrying those houses, half of the house, as they go on the road. Got the pre-truck right behind that lets them know with little flags on it. No, but so Dr. Now is just like in a broken English accent, like, yeah, you're fat. Here's what you got to do. Here's a signed copy of my book. It gives you exercises. You're going to be on a 1,200 calorie diet, and this is what you're going to eat. And then I recognized that, after watching this, after that point, like most of the time they fail. And then after they fail enough, then Dr. Now is like, well, I'm going to suggest therapy so we can figure out the cause of why you eat. But there's a big problem here. And because most of the time they end up failing even after that. Okay, not only do they know that they're fat and they know the things that they eat are bad, but they also know the cause of why they eat and what they're coping with. Like, they're using it as a coping mechanism. They understand that, and they understand why when they talk to the therapist, which is just emblazoned on everybody's TV across the world to eat popcorn and watch these people suffer in misery.
Yeah.
But then after that, they still fail, usually. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, so even just acknowledging the problem isn't going to be a solution.
Yeah.
Even knowing the solution, knowing what you have to eat, knowing how to add up the math, assuming that these people can actually, read the labels and do the calculations and know the calories or whatever, assuming all that's true, and they have a solution for how not to be fat, they still fail. Even when they know why they are fat and they acknowledge verbally with a therapist or otherwise, they still fail. And I think I know the answer. It's because they don't have, and this is my epiphany, they don't focus on understanding coping. They don't understand coping mechanisms. They don't understand habits. Okay? Because I, for a very long time, have struggled with pornography. And so I wondered, okay, I know why I use it. I know that I'm coping with it, but I don't know anything about the neuroplasticity of the mind and how habits work. So, there's a book on habits that's really popular. I didn't read the book on habits. I read a book that was that book in 30 minutes. Okay? Because I'm a man that has to save time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's only so much to read.
And you read
only so much time.
Everything.
Yeah. I read Cultivating the Male Sex Art. But this book, I was like, I'm going to read the 30-minute summary of that book.
This one? Nah.
Yeah, so I was thinking, it's really interesting because in that book, it summarizes the Book of Habits, which I will read it at some point. I just saw the book. I was like, fuck it. Give me the summary. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And it explains that you cannot get rid of a habit. That the habit is comprised of a cue, which is kind of like your trigger for it. Then it's like the process, and then it's like the reward. But the only thing you can do is change a habit. You can't get rid of a habit.
Okay.
So in understanding even just that you can change a habit, this then goes down the same route as sublimation. Like the psychology understanding of you have to direct this energy into another place.
Yeah.
Because simply knowing the answer and stopping to eat this food isn't a solution to the problem, because that habit still exists. Your brain still claws at you to eat this food that you think is helping you, but it's just a detriment, essentially. You have to go to control this like animal self that you have within you. And so my epiphany was, maybe the extra thing that my 600-pound life needs is some dude explaining habits. The guy needs to come in there and just tell these people, okay, you have a habit, but the first thing you have to do is believe you can change it. If you don't believe you can change your habit, you're stuck.
Yeah.
Okay. You can acknowledge that you have a problem, which is part of the problem. You acknowledge why you have the problem. That's part of the problem. You acknowledge now that the coping mechanism you have has been hardwired. Well, it's softwired because you can change it into your brain,
Uh-huh.
okay? And you have to manipulate it from that point on, okay? You have to essentially continue that habit, get the same or a different reward that is more productive to your future life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. I just thought it was interesting.
I mean, like, that's, you know.
Yeah.
You broke it down. I didn't even, I mean, like, I knew, so, like, the same exact thing, right?
Yeah.
Where, like, you know, I can tell that I have habits and that they're bad, right? But, yeah.
I mean, I guess in my case, to go a little bit more deeper into this, I recognize that I use, like, pornography and masturbation to get rid of anxiety. But I didn't understand. I always thought that sex was a biological drive, and it's not. The psychological drive that you're looking for is actually 4 things. It's security, it is self-esteem, it is autonomy, and it is connection. Okay, and I realized out of all 4 of those things, the psychological, that sex is a tool you can use to achieve those things. You can use, I mean, if you have sex, you'll have, I mean, for men, I don't think, because women have been shamed and repressed for a whole bunch of time, so they don't view it the same way. From what the articles I read, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask my girlfriend. But in the article I read, it was saying that men use it to get self-esteem, women use it to get, like, security. Both of them use it to get, like, connectedness and stuff like that. But I realized that maybe I just use pornography most to get self-esteem. So then, now I understand my problem. My problem is that I masturbate to get self-esteem. But that doesn't fulfill that cycle, because I realize when I see my reflection in the screen,
as you turn
that I am just a coomer that is worthless, and I'm not actually having sex. It's all fake. Yeah. It's just an illusion. And I was going down the route of also reading The Allegory of the Cave from, like, Plato and stuff. And it's this idea that, obviously, I'm sure you know, it's all the people sitting in the cave watching the shadows. Yeah. And then they don't, it's all just an illusion. They don't know what reality looks like. And all of this sort of corresponds with the idea that, like, pornography in a way is an illusion, because it's not sex. You're not actually achieving intimacy, connectedness, security, or autonomy. I mean, maybe autonomy because you're pleasing yourself, but so then I realized that self-esteem was the thing I needed. So now I just have to sublimate getting self-esteem. And how do you get self-esteem? Well, like everything, my ideology I've been building, like a sun, okay? Think of the rays of the sun, okay? And this goes back to the Heraclitus philosopher thing, too. This is a rabbit hole, I know, but...
We're slanting.
Yeah, we're slanting. We're going downhill.
We're roving down a slant.
But it all clicked to me while I was watching these fat people, dude. So I'm sitting there, and I was thinking about Heraclitus again, that concept... it might be Heraclitus, but I would say that's a little bit. Yeah, I was thinking of that idea that free will versus destiny. The idea that you do have free will, but your destiny is a result of your actions. And so if you always choose to do the same thing over and over again, it's like insanity. You'll get the same result. Yeah. If you're an ill-tempered, shitty person, then most likely your destiny is set in stone. It'll always be, you're going to be a shitty, ill-tempered person, people aren't going to like you, etc. Yeah. So in that same way, if you choose to continue to partake in the illusion, then nothing will get solved. But you can't also just immediately throw away all your bad habits. You have to change them incrementally, step by step. And the only thing you can do is have the action to do something. But an action that is done over the long period of time eventually does become a habit. And habits become, in a way, character. And then after you have character, it becomes destiny, essentially. So like the sun, you are the sun, okay? And all of your habits are like rays of the sun, okay? And as you develop more and more habits, you'll get... The sun results in becoming more and more brighter, essentially. So in how to gain self-esteem, I think the first... I've already been doing a whole multitude of things. It's exercise. You know, I've started running every other day. It's just like eating better, eating healthier, assuming that even the minor things about the gut-mind connection are true. If you eat better, then you'll think better as well. Yeah. And all of these things sort of correspond together. In a way, it's something I realized about Christianity as well. I always thought that when I was an atheist, that all of those commandments existed to rob you of your freedom, like your ability to do stuff. But I realize now more than ever that the 10 Commandments and this avoidance of sins is actually just to free you from the consequence of sin, essentially. That's why they exist. Because if you sin, or rather, if you are being greedy and try to order cheaper paver stones from China and they come to America, then you have a fucking plague of spotted lanternflies that slowly destroy billions of dollars worth of agriculture industry. Yeah. It's essentially that every time, if you do shitty stuff, you will inevitably reap shitty non-benefits. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I watched a bunch of 600-pound people struggle. And I think I found my answer for life. It's honestly, I thank you, TLC. I appreciate everything you
Sponsor,
do. Yeah. Whatever. I don't got it all. I got to read the Habit book, but, we're getting there.
So, you talk about Christianity, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to church.
Yeah.
Right.
How's that?
Well, did you have a punchki today? Let's just get this out.
No, I didn't. I don't really like punchkis.
What are you doing?
Do I look fat?
Do you have to be
look
fat? Do you have to be fat to enjoy it?
It's Fat Tuesday.
It is. Look at me. I had 4. No, actually, I didn't realize it till I got home today that it was Punchki Day.
Yeah.
That Fat Tuesday happened, and I hadn't eaten a Punchki.
Okay.
This is the first year in my life that I can recall that I didn't have a punchki. Now, my family's very Polish. Yeah. So this is kind of slightly a big deal to them because this is like a Polish thing. Yeah. So I'm going to tell my grandma, she's going to be disappointed. But anyway, Christianity.
Yeah, your grandma's going to scold you for not eating.
She's like, why aren't you fattening up?
Yeah, what? You're supposed to get fat today. You're going to fast. That's
tomorrow.
Why you're getting fat.
Yeah. But, so, whenever we did the tarot cards, right, we did a reading. That started a spiral of events. Okay. Okay. A lot of self-reflection ending in like a good thing. Okay. Okay. So we'll recall the events. Okay. We started out with the tarot cards. We talked about how I've been not liking church because I don't really get it somewhat.
Yeah, you're not resonating with the message, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that kind of started, I'm like, oh, damn, man, I kind of, it stayed with me, essentially, right? That thought kept going. The next day, or maybe 2 days after I talked to you, okay, I had gone over to a friend's house, okay, and this seems like it's completely disconnected. It probably is, but it continued my descent into whatever, okay? So she has a new dog, okay? This dog is a black lab. Now, I had a black lab that was blind, and she was my dog. I take care of her. She was like the best dog ever, right? She's like my whatever, right? And so like I'm like, this dog has the soul of my dog. I can feel it. And by the end of that night, that dog was laying on me and wouldn't let me leave. And I'm like, well, I didn't really do anything, but I really like this dog, and it seems to like me. So it's the soul of my other dog, and that made me really sad, but happy sad. And so that kind of like continued like more reflection where I'm like, I miss my dog. So then I continue, we go to church. Okay, me and my fiance, okay? And we have the longest, most boring, nonsensical, bad lesson in my eyes. And I look around me and I see all the other people in the class, they're popping off. They're like, yeah, no, I saw God whenever I was young, whenever, I saw this nun and I knew something was special about her. And I'm like, I don't know. What am I supposed to say? Because in this class, everybody was recalling the first time that they witnessed some kind of holy or God experience, right? When was the first time that you knew that God existed or that you saw something that proved God to you or whatever? And I don't have an experience like that, right? So everybody's going around the room sharing, and I don't have anything to say. And so luckily I kind of just get off by just staying quiet and like sitting in the corner a little bit, and they just don't pick me.
Okay.
So I got lucky, but it made me really, really think about how everybody in this church seems to have this connection to something that I can't seem to form, that I can't seem to connect to.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something wrong with me? And so this brought me even lower. The day after that, so it was Monday, I was really, really, really mopey about things, okay? This whole thing had weighed me down a lot, okay? And I had begun thinking that because my fiance was someone who shared and had this experience, that I was like, I feel as though I'm getting married into a lie. I don't believe in this Christian faith stuff. I don't see this the same way that people see this. And she does. And so I don't know why she would want to marry me if this is something that's important to her and something that's not important to me, but I'm doing it for her. And so I kind of just, she got home, broke down a little bit. I'm just like, all right, I just need to get this out of the way. Okay. I don't want to go through with the whole confirmation thing. I don't understand, anything. I go into the same exact things, right? Everybody seems to be able to see God and stuff like that. This dog brought my mood in a good, bad place. It made me more thoughtful in a way. And then talking with you had kind of started the whole thing. And so I get to like just telling her, I'm just like telling her about like how, are you sure? Like, my understanding of God is just of like, I don't feel that. I don't feel any kind of connection, I reflect on myself, and everybody talks about how you got to pray and meditate and stuff. I'm like, I've been meditating for a while. I always have self-reflection. I always see these things, and like people talk about like, oh yeah, forgive people and like do whatever. And like, I've already been doing this my whole life. And she luckily was like, hey, look, no. You're looking at this all wrong. You've already been living in this kind of Christianity thing. Yes, you don't understand it. You're almost a step beyond it. This was her words. She's like, you're thinking, in her eyes, the religion is more for self-reflection and like becoming a better person in a better society and all that stuff. And the whole going to church for her is just a big meditation. I kind of knew that, but at the same time, I always, in the back of my mind, I'm like, she's just, Bible thumping, whatever. Mm. And so this reassured me that we were fine, and all that stuff. And that, like, the whole time, maybe I have been seeing God this whole time, but actually, I don't believe that is that. I think of whenever somebody says, yeah, no, I felt God's presence in this thing. I don't know why, but my brain breaks it down to like the most fundamental, like, oh, you got some weird chemical stuff going on here. Let's like diagnose that. Oh, hey, that person's just a little bit intimidating and they seem to be like off, and that's why you're feeling this way, or something like that. So basically, everything's fine now. We solved the issue. Tarot cards work.
Honestly, if that is, I think that needs to be a review for tarot. Frankly, if all the tarot does is make you think harder and have more communication with your fiance or significant other, whatever.
There you go.
Fuck it. That's $20 well spent, bro.
There you go. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything to even say about that or if that even made sense.
I think I got it. It's interesting because I also, I feel that Christianity, Catholicism and stuff was taught poorly. I think that there is more to it, but I think it is lost in the translations. I don't think it is, at least the people I've met that have taught it in the past for me when I was raised Catholic. I don't think they taught it as a system that you can use to be a better, it's literally self-improvement, essentially. I mean,
yeah.
It's a bunch of parables and stories that hold information to those that read it about, I mean, I don't even think it's just moral lessons and stuff. It's essentially just a time-tested way to allow society to continue without drawbacks. I mean, assuming society follows. I mean, I understand criticism against the repression of sexuality. I think in some ways that has been, there needs to be some revisions there. I also think that the perversion of making the love of Christianity extremely tolerant ends up just hurting it. To tolerate everything is also to just kill yourself. I mean, the idea, the basic concept, the best way I can word it is, if you love anything, you have to hate that which threatens it. If you do not hate that which threatens the thing you love, then the thing you love will just die.
Well, I mean, like all of the readings in the church and junk, it's always like, no, you gotta love your enemy.
Yeah, but even Jesus went and fashioned a fucking whip and kicked over tables and got rid of the money changers in the temple. So
yeah.
I think that there's room, there's an eye for an eye in some regards.
You gotta take some action. You can't just be like, nah, dude.
You can't be completely inactive and let everyone walk over you. You have to have...
You want to steal from the bank, dude?
Yeah.
Come on in!
Yeah. There has to be some sort of, But, I haven't read the Bible. I haven't read the translation of the Bible. I've been studying my Greek letters, though, so maybe one day.
You'll get close. You're getting close.
One day I'm going to read the old Koine Greek New Testament, baby. You watch me.
Jesus.
I'm gonna understand it, and then maybe I definitely want to get all the other religions and read them too because it's interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, so basically, yeah. I mean, like if you break it down, essentially, me being worried that everybody was actually seeing some. Potentially, they are. Yeah. Potentially, they
might be working themselves into
fully believing.
Yeah, to seeing that.
But I feel as though I don't need that reflection necessarily or that whatever church can provide because I feel as though I've already somewhat been living that type of life or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the idea isn't to work yourself up to have hallucinations of God. It's to just read the words and understand how you can apply them to your life.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to talk more about Christianity.
I honestly do not know enough to... I mean, I can dabble, but that's about
I have... Well, I just have like a quick little...
Yeah, do it.
Basically, any teacher that has come into this class, for the most part, they're giant nerds. Mm-hmm. I think I've said this before, potentially to you, but basically, they come into the class and it's like Star Wars to them. It's Star Wars lore. They're like, actually, and... 13 BC, whenever the Romans redid the 13th Testament, they made it so that way whips are no longer illegal. So actually, they couldn't have been holding a whip at that time. Basically, they know like every single little bit of like weird lore about like things that happened in the Bible. And it's just kind of funny to me because whenever I hear someone talk about like something very specific, like, oh yeah, actually no, at the time they weren't allowed to do this thing or that thing because they started writing in the Bible like, hey, you got to say these words in order for us to know that you're actually Christian. And those words were this and that. And all I hear is like someone talking about either like Warhammer lore or just any kind of lore for a video. It's the same thing.
This just sounds kind of cringe to me.
It is a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I already think that the people that are overly invested in fictional things, I mean, obviously each their own, but
yeah.
To that level, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, bruh.
Are you sure?
Yeah, is this really how we're gonna... Are we not even gonna worry about the words? It's all about the historical context from when this happens. I mean, it's...
Yeah, some people love that kind of junk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like understanding the historical context can't deepen your understanding of it, but if like the only thing you prioritize is like, here's 15 secret facts I learned about the Bible after reading the Apocrypha, which is removed from all Bibles because they're random books that don't make sense. Like, okay, what?
I wrote my fan fiction about Jesus.
Yeah. actually, there's this like guy, and he had a name that was similar to this dude's name, but yeah.
And then he was in the third chapter.
Yeah. He was also in this army at this time, and they were mercenaries, and they were trying to fight these guys, but then the giants came. Like, bro, stop.
I can't wait for them to write more Apricius lore.
Yeah.
That's my favorite character in the Bible.
Oh, bro, I'm going to make better... I've already decided that once I completely read the Bible, I need to make it tangible into an art form that is interactive.
You gonna make some Bible video games?
Yeah, I'm gonna make some Bible games, dude.
You want to make Veggie Tales?
Oh, you don't even know what's coming. I don't either, because I have to read it first.
Yeah. Would you like another sip of thing?
Yeah, I think we should do another Citron.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Would you like to follow the real rules?
Yeah, I'm gonna pour it.
You can't pour your own.
Oh.
And I have to hold it with two hands.
Okay.
And then I'm supposed to pour yours, probably. Are you holding it with two hands?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Why, bro? We got these tiny ass shot glasses. It's like, yeah, hold it with two hands.
I mean, we drank it with... I mean, we have half the bottle already.
That's true.
So... But this one you don't have to down in one.
Oh, we're gonna sip this one?
I don't know. I was just gonna see how I feel when I'm doing it. Yeah, this is some good stuff.
This is good. I went to a personal trainer the other day.
Really?
Yeah, my girlfriend's family took me because her dad was telling me that I need to work on my foundation for exercises, which, you know, I agree. I don't really know that well. I've read the first 5 pages of a lot of books, and you know, I think it's time to get some fundamentals down. So I went to this trainer, which is also at the float place that we went to.
Same dude?
Yeah. Well, it's a different guy that
brother?
works there. I don't know. It's some dude, but
yeah,
he works in a little room.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was really interesting. And then after doing the whole thing, I mean, he must have looked at me the first when I walked in. He looked at me and probably just thought, man, this guy's a gamer, because he has a back hunch, right? Because the first thing he tells me is like, we don't even, I mean, we just greet each other, and then he's like, okay, I'm working with you, got it, and then he's like, all right, so, and he just goes straight into like how to straighten your back. I was like, oh shit.
I see things that are wrong with you. Let me fix them.
He's like, and I started doing this stuff, and he's like, look, you gained 2 inches. I was like, holy shit. This guy's fucking hunch-shaming me, bro.
Do you know how much it was?
From what it looked like, he paid like about $30 or something for the hour.
Oh, that's
35.
not bad
No,
at
it wasn't
all.
bad. Her mom and her dad go to the trainer, but her mom didn't want to go tomorrow, so I'm gonna go as well again. So
That's cool.
Whatever, free
personal
fitness trainer, I guess.
Yeah, so I got my fiance to start working out with me, which is good. But so I let her choose like what we're doing, and then we just do it. So we've been doing yoga, which is actually kind of like, it's peaceful, and like actually you work out and I like get a little sore from it.
Yeah.
We're like at the beginner stuff, and she's like having a time with it.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing her best. This is gonna sound weird, but I find it really, really attractive whenever she tries to do like and like does stuff. I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically, yeah. So we're working out.
Yeah, maybe in a way is it that you're attracted to the idea that she's like working to make herself better, or just really into yoga positions? I mean,
it's not the yoga position, because we also just did like just do squats and like crunches and
yeah, those will work your hams and everything.
Yeah.
Any of the squats.
Well, with like yoga, like you're going into a lunge and then like twisting your body, and it's like, oh. This is not where I work out normally.
Yeah, in the past, I've followed a few of those videos as well with my girlfriend. And some of them, yeah.
There was one where it was like, all right, so you're going to get up to a plank position, and then we're going to talk for a minute. It's like, oh, okay. So we're just planking for a minute. All right. But yeah, that's been good. So
if you want a quick summary on the fundamentals of of physical fitness according to the trainer, it's essentially that the first episode I talked about max 6 muscle control. Yeah. That's basically what it was. I mean, it was with the added effect of straightening your back because, you know, in 60, 70 years ago when that book was written, they weren't gamers.
Yeah, okay? They weren't gaming.
They didn't have people playing Pong 24 hours a day in their gamer beanbag chair, okay, rounding their back to a hump. But yeah, it was essentially just like, okay, it was essentially like, here's something you do every day in life. You're going to pick up boxes, right? Pick up kettlebells. This guy's really into the kettlebells.
They love kettlebells there, yeah.
Yeah, so it was essentially engage all of your muscles and pick up the kettlebell, but use your body as a hinge so that you're not basing everything else like off center. You're actually using your legs to pick up and not everything else.
Yeah.
And you're not sacrificing your back essentially to pick something up.
Yeah, yeah.
So it basically the whole process is, all right, he had a bunch of words, little phrases for how to engage all your muscles. So for engaging the legs, it was to rip paper, essentially. So imagine you're like parting the earth outwards with your legs.
Okay.
That was for just those muscles. Gotcha. As for getting your glutes, he was like, imagine cracking a walnut between your cheeks. And then it was like, for getting your arms, he was like, imagine like squeezing lemons towards your sides. So you're making lemonade is what he called it. I forget what some of the other ones were, but
was he ever like, you're not ripping enough paper?
Yeah, literally. It was like, it was just literally him starting with the first phrase, and then we'd progressively add the next one to try to get all the muscle groups engaged at the same time while I'm trying to pick something up.
Yeah.
Because essentially it's preload all of your muscles and then pick up, put down, and then disengage. Rather than react and your muscles come up, it's just, it's like buffer your muscles.
Yeah.
And to put it in gamer terms, you gotta buffer your muscles before you pick shit up. That was what it was.
You gotta start all the buff buttons.
Yeah,
and then
And, you know, all Max 6 muscle control is like, okay, you have to recognize and isolate every single muscle, and then you just got to use it. Because even though you don't have weights, you're still technically using the muscles by contracting them and moving them and shit. So,
damn.
It was pretty interesting.
I didn't even actually think, like, that actually, because, like, I have a single kettlebell that I used to work out at home. And, I mean, like, I didn't even think about, like, actually engaging all of my muscles before I even pick it up. I just kind of like just lunk it to the ground.
And you know, it's funny because one of the so he likes the kettlebell because it's kind of like an off center like weight, like you can get on top of it and then you can go straight down, which is something you can't do with like a big box if you were to pick it up essentially. Which I thought was interesting, as well as when I was reading that other bizarre tantra book. One of the things, and that I mentioned that in the first episode, I put the name in the chapter titles because it was really long and wordy. But in that book, that's where I got the push walls thing. It was essentially engage your muscles and push wall. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but in that book as well, they also talk about the hurricane walk. Like to engage every muscle and then try to walk and like pretend you're walking through a hurricane. That was essentially, and you know that I could totally understand with combining, you know, the other aspects of max muscle control of isolating different muscle groups and stuff like that and contracting them and whatever. I mean, that could definitely make you stronger. It could. It worked for them. Yeah. You know?
They're strong.
It worked for the dude that uses a fucking welcome mat to not prematurely ejaculate by rubbing his feet on it. So.
Damn.
Whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's plenty of exercises you can do without even having weights. It all just comes down to doing them.
Yeah.
We could be doing glute exercises this whole podcast.
Now. That's a podcast.
I could have like marble ass by the time I'm done. It'll be so hard I could break a 2x4 off of it. my cheeks alone. They talk about fucking Bruce Lee's 1-inch death punch, bro. I got the 1-inch glute punch, dude. People knocked into a chair 5 feet across, whatever, 50 feet across the room.
Jesus.
All I gotta do is tense them, bro.
Dude, you're breaking that chair.
Yeah, literally. The chair is going inwards as I clench my butt cheeks. I'm just dropping an item away and turning my waist like 90 degrees and clenching to shooting it as a bullet in any direction.
If anybody comes in here, they're dead.
They're dead. I can crack a walnut and fire those fucking nuts at people. And then if I do enough semen retention, I'll have a fucking...
You get a one-shot
I'll
death.
have a one-shot wax dart I can use to go through people. Yeah. It just, the semen gets so hard and calcified that you can just shoot it like a bullet on command. Why do you think we're doing this fucking Kegels, bro? I've been channeling this all the way up to my spine. Just wait. I'm going to have a gun on command in front of me and behind me. All 360 degrees are covered. A robbery's happening, you better make sure I don't get on all fours. Somebody is losing more than an eye.
You tell a police officer, unload that gun, give me the bullets.
Yeah. What do you have there? I'm just holding like a pack of peanuts. I'm tossing them over my back. What the fuck is happening?
He must have retained so much semen. He's harnessing the power.
I know that smell anywhere. That's a 100-day streak.
Oh no, it's been up his spine.
So the YouTube video will just be like, Sigma male stops robbery. Using only glutes and muscle contractions.
Your hurricane walk in.
Yeah, he tries to shoot me, I'm hurricane walking.
Oh no, he's mastered the hurricane walk.
Fucking bullets are bouncing off. Holy shit. I practice the fucking sand in the jar tongue punching, so I'm just spinning the bullets back.
Oh God. Oh, do I have any other thingamajiggies? We talked about Oats, Church, Black Lab, Star Wars lore. Yep. All right. So basically, dude, I have this list. It's really big, and we keep I'll add stuff and forget why.
Yeah.
But I have a few.
Okay.
Do you have? Wait, before we do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a brief thing I want to mention. Uh-huh. So I've never noticed that I have it, but I recently had tonsil stones. Do you know what those are? Yeah. So I have like 2 in the back of my throat, and I was like, man, these are weird, but I feel like I need to get rid of them because I remember a coworker in the past who she used to get rid of them by just taking a fucking bobby pin and shoving them into the back of her throat and like plying them out or whatever. Yeah. And I was like, bro, I don't know if I'm going to do that. Yeah. So I looked on Amazon and there's like tool or whatever. So, 1-day shipping, get the tool next day. And I just end up scratching my tonsils. So now they hurt more. And I didn't even get the tonsil stones out. Oh. But then I was like looking and I was like, you know what? Okay, I wasted $10 on this tool. Probably useless. I guess I can use it to pick my ears or something at some point. Doesn't matter. But I was looking up and I was like, why do I feel like I need to get rid of tonsil stones? Right? So then I was looking up the red pill on tonsil stones. Because every article says how you get them. And like the only reason for why they exist is that it just stores bacteria. Yeah. But then the question becomes, why does it store bacteria? Why does the back of my throat...
It was an evolutionary thing.
Yeah, but why? I mean, what... They know it's connected to the immune system, but why? And so I was looking up and I'm like, what if tonsil stones are actually part of giving you a better immune system by like I don't fucking know.
Forming some bacteria.
Yeah, like
there.
maybe it hardens the bacteria, and then once it gets enough bacteria, you just swallow it, and then that enters your system, and then you build up immunity to it. Like, I don't know, but maybe something like that. So then I went to my old friend, the Jewish Gematria, and I typed in tonsil stones and got the number 600. No, I didn't. I did. I typed it in, but yeah, but I was like, no, there's nothing. I didn't see anything. I thought it'd be a good callback. Anyways, yeah, let's go down your list. What do you got?
Well, no. Now I want to talk about tonsil stones.
Okay, do you have them? Have you got
I get them all the time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but I can like just cough them up, kind of.
You know, I have a slightly like a large enough to notice one that I was trying to cough up, and I tried stabbing the stupid silicone tool at it repeatedly, and I couldn't get it to go anywhere. So I'm gonna name it. And then it's gonna become a part of me.
Does it smell? Because like normally,
they do smell, but I mean, you know,
it is.
If I do enough tongue punching, I can knock the air around me. Actually, that could be a potential skill too. I can make people pass out because I'll tongue punch so hard that my fucking tonsil stone breath will hit a guy and knock him out. I just shoot tonsil stones at people, like, bro.
Eat garbage to form the bacteria faster.
Yeah, dude. So I'm at the gas station. They got those fucking taquitos on the roller. I'm like, I know where to get the biggest source of bacteria ever, baby.
It's over for them.
Fucking knock them out. Halitosis breath, baby. Watch out.
Well, so. All right. Speaking of like home remedy, well, I mean, like, speaking about home. Anyways, my mom has like decrepit hands. Okay. She has some kind of strange, never before seen super virus on her hands. It seems to be activated by stress, and any kind of lotion, soap, anything that she puts on her hands, like, just burns and makes it worse.
Her hands?
Yes. And so it's like literally just like dry cracking her hands.
Okay.
Right? So it doesn't matter what she does. She's tried like this like unscented whatever lotion that she puts on at night, and she puts gloves on, like, you know, whatever. Nothing works. She goes to the doctor, and they're like, there are like 30 other people that are like you that have the same thing. We have this weird random cream that we're gonna like have you sample and just see how it works. Works great, right? So like this cream, it works fantastic. Then the trial ends, and now she can't get it anymore till like another year. And so she's back to like cracked hands. Terrible, right? So she can't really like cook. Well, she can cook. She just can't like chop onions.
Yeah.
You know, or like wash dishes, you know, junk like that. And so she's willing to try anything. So she goes to what do you call it? One of those doctors that just give you like garlic pills and junk.
Shaman. Holistic medicine.
Holistic medicine guys. Dude goes like, okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. And he like does like all these like weird things. She sticks out her tongue. He like checks her spine and like her like arm. She's like, she told me like she held out her arm straight right in front of her, and the doctor like looked at it, was like, yeah, no, looks like you need more vitamin C, and like just like junk like that. But anyway, so she leaves there. The guy writes her a prescription for like, I don't know, I think it's like 15 different pills that she has to take daily. And they're all like garlic, vitamin C.
This dude's literally giving her a multivitamin, bro.
Essentially, he's making a custom multivitamin. Essentially, within a few weeks, my mom's hands start clearing up magically. Yeah, she's just like low on something. Yeah, right. And so she's like, "Well, it works. I'm sticking with it." You know what I mean? Her hands are better now. But I was curious, like, what are we doing with all this medicine?
Dude, you know,
she literally is just missing like some weird vitamin that no one thinks of, you know?
You know, I think that's a lot of people's problem, because I didn't realize it until I started taking my multivitamin. But I mean, if you've listened to this podcast, you know that I only get more and more insane And it's because I am connecting with my brain for the first time in my life. I've been sleepwalking before the multivitamin.
Really?
But now, after I'm getting all my vitamins and I eat good food and I'm not just, eating... Yeah, sometimes I eat sugar and stuff, but I'm trying to avoid as much as possible. But if you just start taking your fucking vitamins, bro, you'll... Sky high. Nothing's the limit. I can shoot wax darts and break walnuts with my ass cheeks. I mean, anything's possible.
Over.
Yeah. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I'll send you a multivitamin for your mom that I think she should try.
Well, she's already on the super multivitamin.
Oh, is it a super multivitamin?
I mean, like it's all these. It's like 15 different pills. But
I mean, you could probably just combine it into one, and it wouldn't. Yeah.
So, but I mean, like if this like holistic doctor guy like somehow magically fixed it,
Yeah.
she's just gonna stick with that. You know what I mean?
Hey, I guess whatever works, bro. I think the thing that the most important piece of information you can use to change your life is that the modern diet does not have all the vitamins your body needs to function.
Yeah.
So you got to get them from somewhere. And, whatever you decide to do, whether it's holistic medicine or trying to eat all the food groups to get every one of the vitamins that science recognizes, that's fine. Just do it.
Gotta get it all in there.
Yeah. Eating fucking Little Caesars every day isn't going to help you.
It's
not going to give you your vitamins.
Well, it gives you...
In fact,
substance.
I ate 2 pieces of Little Caesars and had root beer, and ever since that was that movie night that I did.
Yeah.
Ever since that, I had the fucking tonsil stones and a sore, and it's not like strep throat, but it's like a slight sore throat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't drink pop. I don't eat like shitty pizza at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll do it once, whatever.
Yeah.
Miserable for days.
Yeah.
Now I got fucking tonsil stones I've never seen before. Because I'm getting fucking cancer from Little Caesars. Oh, God. Falling apart, dude.
That Little Caesar just killed me.
Yeah. I think what happens is when you become so pure, just even the littlest
Going
amount.
back.
Going back will kill you more.
I've had like high fructose corn syrup and junk like that in the last whatever. But
cancer.
Yeah. But, okay, if I don't have any for like a really long time and then I have a Coke, my body just goes like, what did you do to me?
Yeah.
And just,
I gotta purge this poison.
I feel like death for like the next day.
Yeah, I really like root beer, so I was like, man, I'm gonna do it. This guy's got a whole gamer fridge of pop and
the way around
my name. Yeah.
The way around it.
Yeah.
Cane sugar. Honestly.
Yeah, anything with cane sugar, is that what you're saying?
Just, if you're going to have a pop, those, like, Mexican Cokes you can get in junk, those are fine. And I feel like, I don't know if you remember whenever you were a kid and you had pop, and, I don't know, I feel, really hyper, especially Coke, because it had caffeine in it, and I never had caffeine, really.
Yeah.
So it's, all that sugar and caffeine. Mexican Coke brings back that. Whereas regular Coke now, I feel slower and terrible.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe we just need to grow our own sugarcane, dude.
There we go.
I think we just need to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
I'm tired of relying on these companies. I'm going to grow my own black tea.
Yep.
I'm going to, coffee, I don't know. I mean, coffee's a lot of work. It takes 5 years for the plant to even do anything. It's bullshit.
Look, we can trust the farmers.
Yeah, maybe.
And the locals.
Yeah.
If
I see some more incriminatingly weird, Folgers commercials. I'm gonna swap brands.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm already past the Folgers.
You're so far. Yeah, you just go to the coffee place where they show their tits.
Look, man.
You're like, if I'm gonna get Arabica coffee, it better be with some nip nops, bro.
No, look, man. My fiance listens to this.
Yeah, dude, stop. I'm trying to go to church, dude. Stop. My pastor, I recommended the podcast because I talk about it a lot and I thought it would help him.
Oh, that just reminded me.
Yeah.
Dude, I came out to my parents.
What?
I finally came out. I told them I'm doing a podcast.
Is that why we have more views now?
They didn't even ask the name, and actually after I told them, they were completely like, nothing.
What did they respond?
I think they were just disappointed.
They were like, oh, you're finally doing something with your life. A podcast? Oh, shit.
They always want to hear oh, yeah, I'm doing good at work and stuff, the house is looking good and all that stuff. And because, I was just the podcast was on the mind. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, I was doing a podcast with my friend. My mom was like, oh. So anyways, the dog, I'm like...
Yeah, if they ever listen to this, I'm sorry. I honestly, I apologize.
They didn't
I feel like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about whatever I want.
Yeah. This is what we do. This is the podcast. You know what's funny is that you say that, but if they were to start from episode 1, they wouldn't make it this far.
Just tell them to come to this bit where I'm apologizing, and then I'll be able to be like, what does he have to apologize for? And go to episode, like, talking about, oh, God, anything. Oh, you can pull any of this stuff. You could just cut a clip.
God. Dude, I told people publicly over the air that I do marijuana. My parents...
Yeah.
They don't know that. Well, they probably assumed.
Yeah,
I think they've always assumed.
They just look at you and they're like, weed, bro.
Yeah.
Our son smokes hemp, bro. He does the ganja.
Our son makes hemp bags.
Yeah, he does that. All the kids are into it.
Yeah. No, I told him once that, like, one of our friends, who you probably know who it is, but whatever, that he does it, and like he's like normally a little weird, but when he does it, he's completely normal. And they're like, "Yeah, that really makes sense."
He stops like worrying about that voice in his head,
Yeah.
It mellows out. It's completely normal. No autism on any spectrum. I've never seen somebody so personable, frankly. Yeah. Before it just feels like he treats everyone like a social insect, but now.
Oh God. All right. That was a good. So
yeah,
healing. I called that one herbal healing mom hands.
Yeah, speaking of herbal healing mom hands, just a quick aside. What if, okay, I was reading when I was really into the Montauk Chia stuff like 4 episodes ago, I read that like by jerking off over and over again, you age yourself faster.
Really?
Okay, so what if, actually this ties into something slight as well. Sorry for the sidetrack.
Yeah.
But, so like, what if I've aged myself way older than I should be because I was a chronic coomer. Okay. And now I'm only 26, but mentally I'm like 50. Okay. And what if, because I'm 50, the vitamins I need in order to replenish all of the energy that my youth has my right hand has excavated.
Yeah.
Essentially. And because, it surprises me that some adults don't even take vitamins at all. And they somehow are walking and living. And then after even just getting vitamin D from the sun, I feel immensely better about my life and my standing in the world.
That's what I did today. I got some of that. Dude, I felt amazing.
Yeah. And the clothes that we wear block us from getting the vitamin D. So I'm wondering if I'm actually just like a 50 to 60-year-old man in a 26-year-old's body, and the vitamins are helping me sustain my life.
So, I mean, possibly, but also think about it this way: before you're 25 or whatever, right? Yeah. You're still growing. Technically, your body's still anything that happens before then, your body should be able to recover, right? Anything beyond that, your body's going to start decaying, and so that's when it affects you. Yeah. So I think you're probably fine.
It's got to be something, as well as this is also just really poor timing, right? Because I was reading about the doomsday prophecies and stuff like that. Yeah. Because we came up on a really interesting date that only happens once every X amount of time. And it turns out, I felt slightly different. So you can call this, we can go down the divinity route again. I'm not sure. Yeah. But we can call it celestial bodies are affecting me in a way. Yeah. Because I mentioned this to you over Discord, but they claim that the age of Aquarius was ushered in 2021 or something, March 20th or something. And I felt completely different since even then. Yeah. And I am an Aquarius. So what if this giant, huge planetary body that exists within space that in some way has forces that attach it into our solar system has affected me into not, and because I'm somebody that coomed to 60-year-old seniorhood, okay, I'm awakened more than I was before. You know, this is the age of Aquarius. Okay, my eyes are open. My eyes in the back of my head are open.
They're all there.
I can see. When I'm not cooming, I make so many connections that shouldn't be possible. I'm worried for my own well-being. I'm worried I'll say something on here and I'm going to get a message that's like, yeah, we're going to need you to come outside. We got to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know what to call it. You want to call it? We call it divine awakening.
Yeah.
I was atheistic before that point. Then, you know, the celestial body moved in, and here I am trying to cultivate the male energy.
You have woken.
Yeah, something. I've stopped sleepwalking.
Do you ever sleepwalk? Okay, you used to sleepwalk?
No, I've never sleepwalked before. But I did recently wake up from a dream laughing, if you want to talk about that for a brief moment.
Yeah.
I had a dream that was so funny. Okay, but when I read it back to you, it's not funny at all. It's like the most nonsensical shit you've ever... Yeah. But like, I woke up like completely laughing. Yeah. My girlfriend was up next to me, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? And then she just like sees me wake up out of a dead sleep, laughing, and then I immediately go to my phone to write down the dream. So I was like, this is so fucking funny that I have to remember this dream, right? Yeah. So the dream is 2 lesbians, right? One of them
so they walk into a bar.
Literally! I'm not even kidding. That's the fucking dream. No, so there's 2 lesbians. One's really short, and she's waiting for the other girl to show up because it's a blind date. So she's never seen her in person. They've only talked over the internet or whatever. Other girl shows up. She's way taller than this girl. Short girl is like slightly like pouty because, you know, she's the short one and she's, you know, going out with the tall one, whatever. So they go to the bar. Literally. And the bar is like this rectangle that has like 3 stories, and they're all the way at the bottom. Okay. Yeah. And for some reason, we're in like a desert with like different sand hut buildings or something, like out of Star Wars. Okay. Literally. Yeah. Okay. So sitting there, and they're like talking or whatever, and then for some reason, all the noise dies down in the entire bar with like hundreds of people because they hear, and I intuitively know because I'm watching the story. Okay, I'm not the lesbians. I'm not seeing it through their perspective. I'm like an omnipotent force or whatever. I hear the yelling of an anthropomorphic, bipedal crocodile man chasing another person, yelling, "I'm gonna dehydrate you." Okay, and then for some reason, the next thing I remember is running through thorn bushes. Like, I think I'm a character now, and I'm running away from a crocodile that's trying to dehydrate me. Oh, no. And I keep running through these thorn bushes. Lesbians are completely gone. Yeah. They don't, but there's nothing there. That context contributes in no way to this scenario, okay? Then, after running through the thorn bush multiple times, because I'd like get out of it and go through it or whatever, and this guy's still chasing, this crocodile man is still chasing me. And then at some point, I see it. I see like my salvation, something that's going to help me. It's this big football jock, okay? And he's running up. I'm like running towards him. He's standing there. He's got a football in his hand. This fucking crocodile's chasing me. This motherfucker goes to throw this football. And I know this football is going to like smack this crocodile in the face and I'm going to be completely saved. And then it's all a big meme because I'm running to him. The crocodile is gaining on me and this motherfucker is in slow-mo all of a sudden. Slowly throwing this football. So fucking slow. It's so slow. It leaves his hand. I'm running past him like, what the fuck? Like mouthing, what the fuck? As this football doesn't hit the crocodile, it hits me somehow. And then I wake up laughing like, what are the odds? What are this guy? I think this pure force of male energy is going to save me. And I end up just getting cocked in the face with a fucking football anyways. And I guess the crocodile got me. I don't know. But I thought that was the funniest shit ever. I wrote it down and I'm trying to explain it to my girlfriend who's next to me and she's like, yeah, you just gotta shut up. That's not funny at all. Yeah. I'm like, no, dude, it's really funny. I promise.
It is the funniest.
And then I woke up in the morning, read the thing I typed out, and I was like, you know what? this wasn't funny at
That
all. But
sucked.
yeah, what the fuck was that dream? Why was there lesbians?
Damn, dude. I mean, yeah. My whole family sleepwalks and talks.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense because that one episode you literally incurred $300 worth of damage in a hotel because you punched a light.
Yeah.
That you thought was a hand.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, like, I can talk about a bunch of different stuff. There's like one really good. All right. My sister. Yeah. Right. Me and my sister used to sleep in rooms next to each other. Right. And I would sleep with the door open for whatever reason when I was a kid. And so her sleepwalking was typically sprinting. She would literally sprint.
Wow, really?
Yes.
And you guys are on like the second floor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and she was like near the stairs and stuff. She would sprint from her room to like the guest room or whatever. And so she would like run back and forth. And then like, I'd be like, hey, go to bed. And she'd be like, hey. And then like kind of like just disappear into her room. Like, it was always, like, weird stuff. But you could always tell the person just go to bed and they'd be like, oh, okay. Whenever I was a kid, I went down to my parents' room once and, just opened the door and just stood there, just staring. And both my parents were like, what's going on? What you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And then, like, my mom was like, hey, go back to bed. And so I went to bed, and then the next morning they were like, so do you remember, like, walking downstairs? I'm like, no.
Honestly, sounds like you guys need some vitamins, bro.
Probably, yes.
You need to go get some holistic medicine.
The worst one, though, is my uncle. Okay? My uncle has, and I probably will tell this story wrong, but I'll get it close. His wife recalls she was sleeping in bed. She wakes up to my uncle standing in bed saying something about how the boat is sinking and that the pirates are here and he has to dive in, he has to go like into the water or whatever. She's like, no, what are you talking about? And he's like, we gotta jump ship now. And he literally dives off the bed onto carpet and has like a whole chest full of rug burn. Like,
wow, that's awful. Could you imagine just going to bed one night and waking up in pain?
Well, I'm sure he woke up after
yeah, it's true. He's like, where are those pirates? And he's like, what the fuck am I doing on the floor?
Yeah,
to go down the holistic medicine route as well. I think it is funny that in the story of your mom, there's the criticism of the medical system because the medical system, in a way, focuses on treating the symptoms but not the causes of the problem.
Yeah,
I mean, sure, sometimes, but it seems like in that case scenario, it was like, oh, we're going to give you some sort of cream to cure the symptom of the problem. Because if they only cure the symptom and that's temporary, then you are reliant on the pharmaceutical companies to continue to make that product. And if the cause is never solved, then you just have a repeat customer for life, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like there's no incentive in the health system to cure anybody of anything.
Yeah.
It seems that way.
So you just reminded me that I read a book that also goes into exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Let me just find it really quick. Okay, there's a guy named David Goggins.
Okay.
He has a book that he's like a hardcore, super, like, extremely dedicated Navy SEAL.
Okay.
Okay, so David Goggins was like, he was working out, he was like at the prime of his life or whatever. He passed like all these like really, really hard exams where you gotta like go do this ranger stuff where you're running through the woods and all this other junk. And eventually his body just starts giving up on him. Just completely giving up. He goes to the doctor, like he can't walk anymore. He can't like pick up anything. He just is stuck in bed and he's like, well, they can't figure out what's wrong with me. Nobody can figure it out. Nobody can go like, oh yeah, it's this or that. Nobody knows. And so what comes on the TV, this is a spoiler for the book, if you care at all.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I've talked about a lot of books.
Just for anybody. Well, this is like a autobiography. He wrote it himself, right?
Okay.
And so what ends up happening is he sees that someone's like teaching stretching on the TV. And so he's like, hey, might as well just give it a try. And he starts stretching. And he's like, oh, wait. He like stretched out his arm. He's like, wait a second. I can move my arm a little bit more now. And so he like gets down on the hospital floor and just starts like stretching every single muscle that he has. And he gets like 3 hours in, he's like, I feel so much better. And so like the whole time, right, his body was like, because it wasn't just like an all of a sudden thing, it was like over time as these things are going on, he's like, why is my body giving out? I'm bench pressing as much as I can. But he just never believed in stretching. No one ever mentioned stretching. And so he just never did it. And so now he's at the hospital thinking his life is over. And he's like, oh, wait, I just got to like move my muscles a little bit.
Oh, wait, I'm only picking up giant weights instead of trying to stretch before.
I'm only lunking.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny.
But, I mean, like, you know...
It's just simple stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, the doctors couldn't, like, sit there and be like, oh, have you tried stretching? No, they were like, oh, we got to make sure he has all of his vitamins and his collagen or whatever, you know. I just thought that was funny. This was a funny part of the book, too, right?
It's just like, it's almost like we're living in an illusion that this isn't actually real.
Yeah.
Right? Because we've lost all the knowledge on how to live. Like, instead of having a medicine man that knows all of the plants in the local area and how to harvest them and what to do, and instead of having people that are like well informed about the cycles of the sun and the moon and how they affect the world and everything, we live in a box.
Yeah.
You know, there's no man versus nature. It's man lives in this box that he's created.
Yeah.
This cyclical wagey slave life. Wagey slavey, you know.
Yeah.
You work your 9 to 5 to get money, to get this abstract version of food that you don't even really know where it comes from.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so fucking weird.
It is.
It feels weird.
It's just at a weird point in like civilization where it's like nobody, like, it feels like I feel as though I lack purpose. And I know a lot of people probably feel the same exact way, but they fill the void with like, I'm going to watch YouTube and TikTok until I fall asleep.
Yeah, it
and
won't
then go to
even
work
matter
tomorrow.
because you never have a chance to think, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think boredom is invented. I don't think boredom ever existed. I think it only exists in the modern day because, you know, all your needs are met and you have no time to stop doing stuff. You have to constantly keep doing stuff.
Yeah.
You have to be completely preoccupied.
Rather than like being a monkey
Mm-hmm.
and like just eating bananas and like foraging or whatever,
Yeah.
we're kind of like a character in The Sims.
I mean, it's just like, yeah, you know, we're living, we're not even a character in The Sims so much as that we're playing a life of The Sims, right? It's like you make money to get food, but that's an abstract concept instead of just like growing food. You know, rather than like learning about how I mean, if society ended, people are just gonna die because they don't know how to fucking plant seeds.
Yeah.
They don't know how to grow any. They don't know how to farm or. I mean, obviously, this is, you know, there's some people that do and some people that don't. Like politicians that have never grown a plant in their life are making decisions about the agriculture industry. Yeah. Same thing with technology, right? People that have never even logged into their own email without being like, oh, grandpa, I guess I'll help you. Like, they are making decisions about the, you know, future of the internet.
Yeah.
That's who we're going to. Where it's, ugh.
Yeah, it's always
it's like, gross. Why, dude? And I guess this goes to the allegory of the cave again. You know, it's all shadows. It's not actually reality. I think one of the interesting things, I haven't read all of The Republic, which is the book it comes from, but I think even thinking about the concept of that what you see I mean, in a way it's kind of reality, but it's also not reality because you have all of your senses, but your senses aren't reality because they rely on a third source, the sun. They rely on the external source of the sun to be able to work. Without light, your senses, you know, you have some senses, but they don't work as well. So in order to consider observation as reality, you have to have light. In the same way, in order to think about things and observe them, you have to have another element of like rhetoric and deduction and those abilities. I haven't read that much into it, but I think that's, you know,
you're getting there.
Yeah, kind of interesting to consider that, you know, there are other external elements to even be able to think about stuff that we require. And I don't know if we have those. I mean, I don't think we live enough in reality to be able to do that. We live in a fake facsimile of what life is like.
Yeah. I live in the metaverse.
Yeah, exactly.
I live next to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
That's my life.
Yeah, you bought the house right next to Snoop Dogg. The person who bought property in the metaverse.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to the church that's only going to exist in the metaverse.
That's
completely,
right. Yeah, I don't need anything else really.
Yeah.
Anyway. Not to cut you off.
No, there's nothing else I have there.
Okay, that's fine. Would you like one last subject?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, fecal retention.
Okay. Yeah.
How do you feel about those words together?
Well, I like the word retention. Yeah. I think that when it comes to retaining anything, it's usually...
You're all about it.
Yeah. It comes to... if you have to expel it, I want to know how you don't. That's what I'm interested in.
So you're interested in poo maxing.
Yeah, I want a poo max. Tell me how to do poo reps, bro.
So basically, all you got to do is you got to hold it for as long as possible.
Okay, and what does that do?
Imagine how much time you're going to save by not taking
a
fat dump every day.
Yeah.
You go every 3 days and you just make it as quick as possible.
But I suppose the disadvantage is that when I do have to dump, it's gonna cut my butt open.
Just wait a second, though.
Yeah.
What you do is the day you decide, you take control of your body.
Okay.
And you decide, I'm going to take a bunch of laxatives today, and this is the day.
I suppose, I'm sure there's something about...
Eat a bunch of prunes.
Yeah, whatever. I
just heard that, the words fecal retention, and I'm like, oh.
I mean, I suppose I get it.
Do you?
Yeah,
I think it's literally bad for you.
It probably is, but, there's got to be something to be said about shitting rocks, bro. You want your muscles, you want your colon to do overtime, bro? I got colon day today, dude. Sorry, I'm going to be out. I'm laying down all day, dude. I ain't getting out of bed. I can't sit on anything.
Sorry, man. I'm doing some poo maxing.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Been poo maxing the last 5 days. No fiber. Been straight protein. I've been packing pounds in that. I can feel it. That looks like I'm pregnant. But fucking 4 months.
I'm very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a bike pump to get the rest of this shit out.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to get that one off my list, if I'm being honest. That's been on there for a while, and it just needed to go.
Yeah, I wanna potentially end, with since we're talking about ends, right?
Yeah.
Where the food goes eventually before it leaves.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the beginning and then the end. So the beginning is, you got all these people that claim they're vegans after they watch one Netflix documentary, all right?
Uh-huh.
And I find it really dumb, okay?
Okay.
It kind of makes me mad, right? Because not only are they just, besides basing your entire life off of a 90-minute documentary, okay, let's get that out of the way. Just the concept of, okay, I'm only going to eat vegetables, all right? As someone who's been trying to keep fucking Lunchbox pepper plant alive for 3 weeks now, that keeps getting fucking aphids on it, I know how much pesticides it takes to kill these fucking things, okay? I know how many aphids I've crushed in between my fucking fingers trying to get these plants to not die by these fucking aphids in this indoor growing house, okay? Now, it bothers me that these people claim that they're going to be vegans to help the earth and animals. Because at the end of the day, do you know how many fucking pesticides it takes to keep these goddamn vegetables alive? You know how many rodents, you know how many moles, you know how many birds and bugs and shit that need to die and their souls need to enter the wheel of time in order to make this shit live? It is fucking insufferable. Okay, if you want to be a vegan, and I know there's gonna be one vegan that listens to this in the future. If you're a fucking vegan and you want to be full vegan, you better tell me you are completely self-sufficient. You grow all your shit yourself, and you don't fucking use any pesticides. Because that's the only way you can be vegan without actually hurting Mother Earth's life cycle.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
This is something new that I learned about.
Okay.
People who are vegan.
Yeah.
Okay. That also fish.
Yeah.
And only eat their own fish that they catch.
Okay.
Like, along with vegetables and junk. Yeah. I think that that's much more sustainable and actually probably healthy.
I think so too. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you got to recognize by you not buying that rotting piece of meat on the shelf, it's still going to rot.
Yeah.
Okay. 40% of the food in the United States fucking rots. Yeah. And no one eats it. Okay. The only way you can defeat the cycle is by not demanding anything from the cycle. Uh-huh. You live alone. Return to monk. In the woods.
Eat the pine cones.
Yeah, eat the pine cones.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
Dude. Damn.
So
you really had a vendetta out there.
Yeah, I'm just like, as I kill so many of these aphids, I'm like, there's no fucking way, dude. There's no way! These people talk about saving the earth and they're like, I'm not gonna kill any of the animals. And I'm like, thousands die in my fingers.
This is how bugs aren't real.
Yeah.
They don't have souls.
They don't have souls.
Yeah, we're fine.
That's why we're going to eat thousands of them when the new burger... Actually, I'm sorry. We got to keep going. There's another thing. You thought you could get out of this episode. I saw something...
doesn't hurt.
Yeah, no, this episode is... I don't care what the time is, bro. It's got to keep going. So, I went to some upscale food supermarket, okay? Uh-huh. And I saw in the freezer section that they had this product.
Simulate chicken nugs.
Yeah. Simulate chicken nugs.
That packaging looks ominous.
Okay, so first off, this is great, right? Because not only is it simulate chicken nugs, right? But it also is a person. It's a picture of a hand holding a fucking nugget to a chicken. Like, I'm going to feed you something that's simulating your brethren, your body. It's so bizarre. So I saw that and I was like laughing. I'm like, man, that's hilarious. Instead of just eating chicken and just accepting that, some evil is necessary to be able to get your protein, right? They're like, here's what we're going to do instead. We're going to combine these ingredients to get simulated chicken nugs. Uh-huh. So I'm going to read the ingredients list for this.
Oh, boy.
It includes water, soybean oil, textured wheat protein, soy protein concentrate, breadcrumbs, enriched whole wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, sugar, rice flour, yeast, salt, extractives of paprika, enriched wheat flour, corn flour, wheat protein isolate, yeast extract, contains 2% or less of modified food starch, cornstarch, tapioca dextrin, sunflower oil, potato starch, onion powder, garlic powder, sea salt, sodium acid phosphate, baking soda, black pepper, red pepper, paprika, dextrose, natural flavors, contains soy and wheat. Can you imagine how many of these fucking things kill animals to get that? Can you imagine how much these companies all have to come together to create all of these different chemicals to create these fucking nuggets? Like, just kill the chicken, bro. Just end its life, lop its head off, eat the fucking bird, okay? Because the amount of things that need to come together to give you this simulated chicken is not worth it. You're just killing the earth. There's no fucking point. You're retarded. Stop. It's so stupid.
Oh, God. Oh, now you just remind... All right, now I have to do one more. But this is actually... All right, it's not even actually... You know what? Screw it.
Yeah.
All right? It's not even that important. We can talk about it more on the next episode.
Yeah.
Possibly. Okay, right. If we remember. But It's just venison. I had some venison recently. I was just going to tell you a recipe, but it doesn't matter. You know what? I'm tired of spilling all my recipes. I got to keep them secret so I can write a book in 20 years.
Exactly. When the podcast takes off, we reach episode 100, okay? People are going to care about your recipes. They're going to care about your heritage. They're going to revive their own genetic heritage through you by living these recipes. Yeah. And then they're going to connect to you. Because whatever you eat, they are also going to be eating at that very moment in time. Exactly. And they're going to think, oh my God, this is just like that podcaster I like.
Wait. Hey, look, a cabin.
Contains 2%